Hi guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this video, I'm talking about the 4 things that you need to know in order to find the perfect hearing aid. Coming up. To say that people are obsessed about finding the perfect hearing aid to treat their hearing loss would be an understatement. Just a simple Google search of the perfect hearing aid will yield over 76 million search results, which would take you multiple lifetimes to filter through. As of right now, there are over 800 different hearing aids on the market, each one of them having different features and capabilities, making the process of identifying the perfect hearing aid a long and arduous one. I have spent nearly all of my free time over the past 4 years learning as much as I possibly can about these hearing aids out on the market, and as soon as I learn everything about the ones that are currently out, a new crop of hearing aids moves in and I have to start the process all over again. Armed with all of this knowledge, it still takes me 2 hours during a new patient consultation to identify the specific hearing loss, wants, needs, and values of a patient before I can recommend what I believe will be the perfect hearing aid for them. Now, if I were going to teach you how to identify what the perfect hearing aid is, we would have to start with these 4 things. But before I tell you what those things are, if you could do me a huge favor and click the like button, it really helps out my channel because it gets these videos in front of a broader audience. And while you're at it, if you have not yet hit the subscription button with notification bell, go ahead and do that as well because that ensures that you never miss one of my newly released videos. That being said, let's get into what these 4 things are. The first thing that you have to identify is all of the situations that you struggle to hear in. And I mean all of them. If you forget one situation, you may end up with a hearing aid that can't handle that situation, and that means you will not have the perfect hearing aid. The second thing you have to identify is the unique configuration of your hearing loss. If you do not know the configuration of your hearing loss exactly, it is going to be very difficult for you to identify the specific features that you need to have in a hearing aid to help you hear your best. The third thing you need to identify is all of the different things that you would like your hearing aids to do to make them more convenient to use and, dare I say it, even fun to use. And the fourth thing that you need to identify is a hearing care professional who is excellent at what they do. If you have a hearing care professional who can't take that hearing aid and get the most out of it, then your perfect hearing aid will be anything but perfect. Only after you identify these 4 things will you even have a shot to identify what the perfect hearing aid is for you. When it comes to solving the difficulties that you're having in different listening situations, you need to make sure that you have a hearing aid that has a solution for each one of them. For instance, if you have trouble on the phone, it's a really good idea to make sure that you have a hearing aid that can stream audio from your phone directly into your hearing aids so you can hear the person on the other end of the line in both ears. You might need a telecoil if you want to be able to do this with the landline as well. That telecoil will also come in really handy if you find yourself struggling in large public venues like live performance theater if they have a hearing loop installed. And if you struggle in background noise, then you need a hearing aid that can help you separate speech from the background noise instead of just making everything louder. Next, when it comes to considerations that need to be made based on your unique hearing loss configuration, you will need to make a decision on open venting versus closed venting of your ear mold or dome. Now, this is definitely a higher level complex topic that you need to understand if you're going to identify the perfect hearing aid, and I have discussed this topic in detail in other videos that I will link in the description. But in general, you're going to hear better in some situations with open venting and other situations with closed venting. This is why Phonak, today's video sponsor, developed the new ActiVent receiver for their Paradise line of hearing aids, which allows you to have a receiver that can actively change between open and closed venting. In situations where you would do better with a closed vent, like a noisy restaurant or streaming music from your smart device into your hearing aids, the vent will close, giving you better speech understanding and background noise and making the sound quality of music significantly better, which means that you no longer have to choose between an open vent hearing aid and a closed vent hearing aid. Once you get those 2 very important priorities taken care of, you can move on to identifying what the convenient things and fun things are that you want your hearing aids to do. How about the ability to double tap your ear to answer an incoming phone call? Or maybe you're listening to some music from your phone and you want to pause the stream of that music so you can have a conversation with somebody else, and then when you want to go back to streaming the music, you just double tap your ear again. These are all things that you can do with the rechargeable version of the Paradise hearing aids, but it doesn't end there. You can also use this tap control feature to activate your phone's voice assistant so it can tell you things like what the weather is and who the best audiologist is in your local area, which happens to be the fourth thing that you need to be able to identify. It is hard to emphasize this enough, but you need to make sure that the hearing care professional who fits and programs your hearing aids is excellent at what they do. This means that they need to be very familiar with your brand of hearing aid, and they need to follow best practices when fitting and programming your hearing aids. Because even the perfect hearing aid may not perform perfectly unless your hearing care professional can optimize the features and capabilities of your devices. When it's all said and done, there are a lot of things to consider when you're trying to identify the perfect hearing aid for you. So I would advise you to leverage the knowledge of a hearing care professional who has a much more extensive understanding of all the options that are out there. They may offer some additional insight that you have not yet considered in your search that could prove to be extremely valuable when identifying your next set of hearing aids. If you take your time and put in the work, I have no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to identify the perfect set of hearing aids that are capable of handling all of those difficult listening situations with your unique configuration of hearing loss, that have a bunch of cool features that make you enjoy using your hearing aids, along with a hearing care professional who can optimize the performance of your devices. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please share it, and if you want to see other videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, feel free to check out my website, drcliffaud.com.